Hey everyone, welcome back to the Transfer Talks podcast. I'm Cayla Vient and one of the Lumberjack peer mentors here at NAU. Today, we've got one of our awesome guests who's here with us to share a little bit about their transfer experience. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Cole, and I am a transfer student from South Carolina, and I came here to pursue a major in geology. And I think
Yeah, that's
good to
awesome.
be here. Yeah.
Yeah, happy to have you here. Thank you so much. So let's start off with some questions. Well, what made you choose NAU and why did you transfer here?
So, one first major reason was my transfer credits. When you're transferring from somewhere as far away as I was, it's pretty difficult to find places that will take a fair amount of your credits. You work hard to get your credits, so you want to go somewhere where that's respected. And NAU took a good portion of my credits, so that was a main factor. And then the other main factor was my major geology that I wanted to pursue. I was not able to go to any schools that offered it back east, where I was at. I'm not saying they don't have geology
Yeah.
back east, of course, but they offer the geology program here, and just realistically, the environment here is great for that. It's the Grand Canyon State after all, so
True. That's awesome. What was your first impression of NAU when you arrived?
So I initially came to NAU. My first time coming on campus was back in Christmas of this past year, so Christmas of 2023. And I kind of just checked out like Old Main area mostly. I didn't really see a ton. I was mostly curious in the geology building since that was going to be my degree, and it was unlocked surprisingly at the time, but I still got to check out a lot of cool stuff in there. And then when I came back here in August of this year, I decided to walk around about like a week before the semester started to kind of get a better idea of the land and my community as well, find where that was located at. And I kind of came to the realization, I was like, wow, this is a lot more modern of a campus than I realized. Old Main's all the old brick buildings and the like, but when you get over here to the Union and the like, it's just
there's a Starbucks.
Yes, it's a lot more modern.
Yeah.
So,
what's your favorite thing in your field of study that you really enjoy?
So, I've always been interested in earth sciences. All the way back in middle school, in fact, I did this whole like presentation on the Precambrian period. I always get the pronunciation of that a little iffy, but just like really old time, way back, millions of years ago. But just earth science stuff in general, I've always been curious in, whether it be the past or the present. And my rock collection I've had since I was like 6 years old, because I would go up north sometimes because I do have some family up in the Northeast and there is mountains up there, so I would just kind of collect rocks as I went along. And I just think the Earth is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot of really cool stuff about the Earth. Like even if you learn about places like Antarctica where you may never go, it's still like really cool to just have an idea of what created that exactly.
Definitely.
So,
on the topic of your rock collection, what's your favorite rock that you own, or like the most unique one?
The most unique rock I had. Well, actually, I still have my collection, but I don't know. I always kind of liked the the fool's gold chunk that I had.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know. It just had a really. When I was a kid, it was just like the feel of it was just something I really liked.
Yeah.
But actually, I do have a rock in the collection too that I could say would be a favorite of mine. That comes from a place called Ringing Rocks that's in Pennsylvania, and basically it's like these rocks. when you hit them, they make like different like uh, chime kind of noises.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like kind of like a xylophone, I guess, sort of. But I have a rock from there. That is
That's
cool.
awesome.
So
I've never heard about that before.
yeah, you can look it up online. I'm sure
Yeah,
you'll find it. It's
that's
called ringing
cool.
rocks. So
I
yeah,
will. Thanks for sharing.
yeah.
So, what's been your go to activity or place to de stress when things are overwhelming?
So I know I just talked about all the Earth stuff, but I am uh, a bit of a gamer, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
I do like to play video games, and there is a place here that I discovered. It's over in the communications building. I don't remember the exact name of the communications
Mm-hmm.
building, but it's the Advanced Media Lab, and essentially they have desktop computers in there that you can use for recreation most of the time, and you can easily play like games on the computer there. But I guess one game I could say I enjoy playing that everybody can kind of relate to is GeoGuessr. I'm sure
Ooh,
you maybe
I
know what
do
that game.
not.
You don't know that game, and
Okay,
so
I only know how to play Roblox and Pokemon Go.
everybody knows Roblox. And Pokemon Go is pretty popular here too, but GeoGuessr is basically a game where you get dropped somewhere in the world,
Mm-hmm.
and then you like walk around like on Google Street View, and you have to pinpoint on the map where you're at in the world.
Oh,
So like
wow.
if you're in Germany and you see, German all over the place and just like the typical things, you'd be like, okay, I think I'm in Germany, and then kind of pinpoint down where you're at. And yeah,
That's
that's
super
that's the
cool.
goal of the game. It's pretty cool, yeah.
That's awesome.
It
Okay,
is.
I'm gonna keep an eye out for that one. So, what's one class you've taken here at NAU that really opened your eyes or made you look at something differently? Or maybe just a class that you really enjoyed and would recommend other students to take?
So since I am just starting with this
Mm-hmm.
being my first semester here at NAU as a transfer student, um, I have really enjoyed my geology class. Professor Sample is my instructor for that class, but it's Geology 101, and there's a lot of people in there that are not even pursuing like a geology degree like I am, and I think that's just because they uh, and do find geology actually interesting, and it's a pretty it lays the basics of geology because it is 101 after all. So I would recommend that. I think about anybody could kind of take that as like an elective. But outside of NAU, but still offered here at NAU,
Mm-hmm.
basically it's like a subject I've taken elsewhere, but it is offered here at NAU. Geography is really cool. I do know there's like a Earth or World Geography
Mm-hmm.
class offered here at NAU. I would recommend that. Geography is pretty cool, especially if you don't really know other countries around the world. It kind of opens your mind up to just how many amazing
Yeah.
countries there are in this world. Um, and ecology, I know there's a bunch of different kinds of ecology classes, but I think ecology is pretty cool. If you take like a lower level class, just the basic premise of how everything in the environment, uh, works together, it's just really fascinating,
Yeah. That's super
So
cool. Well, going off the topic of like geography and everything, I know that you're a part of the IGB program here at NAU. Can you explain a little bit what that is, what it entails?
sure. So IGP stands for Interdisciplinary Global Programs, and it's part of the. I don't remember what the name is, but it's basically like the international or like the abroad people here, like
Study
that
abroad.
school. Yeah, they're under that umbrella. But the point of the program is that you can do a like dual degree with it. So you can add a language degree alongside your major. And what they do is you attend events, and the events it varies what you do at the events, but a lot of it is like getting involved with like the international community, or a little bit later you look into like what country you'd be interested in going to later on, because how the program works is when you're on I think year 4 of the program for the standard 5 years that the program is, you go abroad for an academic year, so it's like the fall and the spring, to a country, a university somewhere else in the world, depending on your
Mm-hmm.
language. So I'm taking Spanish, so I've kind of had some interest in like Ecuador or Chile, because those places
That's
have some very
awesome.
fascinating geology there, so I think that would fit. But Spain is also an option too, but they offer a bunch of different language options. It's like Spanish, German, there's Chinese, Japanese, Italian is their newest one they just added this academic year, as I'm aware. French is another language too. Um, I think that's all of them. I'm
That's
positive if I forgot
awesome.
any other ones of them, but yeah, it's a really interesting opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and I would encourage, if you're early enough on, or if you're a transfer like I am, but you're still kind of early on, to look into maybe doing it.
Yeah, definitely. That's such an
So,
awesome opportunity. And what made you want to join IGP?
so the biggest part about IGP, and I should have mentioned this in the
Mm-hmm.
beginning, was or not was sorry is that they prepare you for a more international approach to your career with your degree. So for me, that was pretty intriguing because I just love the thought of being able to, like, work abroad and work with like people elsewhere that kind of have a different culture going. We got plenty of opportunity here in America, of course, but there's other places too. And yeah, essentially, the just being able to have kind of that advantage of having like a more internationally designed resume and portfolio and the like, so that when you graduate, if you make connections elsewhere, you'd be like, oh, uh, maybe I can go work for this country, or work in this country for this company in, Chile or something for a few years, just get that experience. So that was what was really intriguing about it, though, to me.
That's awesome.
So.
Very interesting. Very cool. Now, going back to geology, what made you want to major in geology?
So my original site for the longest time was actually computer science, and that kind of ties back to the gaming side of me, like me enjoying playing video games. Because um, not even just playing video games, I enjoyed creating stuff related to like games too, like game coding and artwork and things like that too. But basically, I was really invested in that for a long time. And I was like, throughout high school, my whole mindset was, I'm going to go to college to get a degree in computer science, so that maybe I could become like a true game developer or something someday, like that. And uh, the reality was, though, when I really started looking into it, the landscape for that, it's very kind of hit or miss with a lot of things. And I'm not saying that to discourage anybody who's in that field. It's just, for me personally, I didn't want to really have to gamble being able to just keep a job, for something like that as a passion of mine. So I decided I would put that aside as a hobby, and I started doing more research. I was like, okay, I love traveling. I want to see the world. Like, I always liked earth science, as I mentioned previously, and I just did the research. I was like, okay, what's geology really about? And I started doing the research for that under geosciences, because that's what geologists are. They're under geosciences, that kind of umbrella. And yeah, I was like, I want to go for that. It sounds definitely interesting. So, as I said, I did the research and good program here, and it just led to me
Yeah,
applying the program here for that. So
that's super
now I'm
cool.
going after that. So, yep,
Well, you got it. Sounds like you're passionate about it.
I am. I am.
Well, very last question. Have you found any cool clubs or student organizations that you've joined since transferring, and how have they impacted your experience here?
So, um, I have been to some club meetings and organizations. This is the organization we're sitting in right
Yeah.
now, but uh, it's kind of funny because I didn't directly seek the clubs myself. I just, through interacting with just random people who I found common interest with, they were just like, "Hey, you want to go to this club meeting tonight? We're going to it. It's the first meeting. We're kind of curious about it." And it's just like I didn't sit there and hesitate and think that something bad was going to happen at all. I was like, we're on campus, everything's fine. So I kind of winged it, as they say, and I just went. And I'm happy I've been doing that actually because these people have introduced me to these clubs that have been pretty cool experience. As for the clubs themselves, I went to the Chinese Culture Club recently, which was on South Campus. That was 4 o'clock on Friday, but you could look these up on True Blue
Mm-hmm.
Connects to find that specifically.
Yeah.
I went to that. That was pretty neat. We did like some coloring sheets. Learn a bit about the um, is it the Moon Festival? Believe it is. It's basically what they celebrate for the harvest moon over
Okay.
in China currently right now. My apologies for not like remembering the name of it exactly, but we did that. The Japanese club I have also gone to. I've gone to a couple meetings for that. They're actually really neat in there. Um, they're a really cool club. They meet every other Monday at 7 o'clock in the Health Learning Building, which is the building with the
Mm-hmm.
recreation center and health services there. As for the Monday that started, again, you have to go online to find that. And then there was another group I met that is a Bible study group actually, and I don't know the name of them exactly, but I guess I'm kind of giving them a shout out in this interview that they've been
Yeah.
very kind to me and I've appreciated them. But once again, I just met the lady and she told me about it and I just decided to go. So I kind of have to say, if you're new here, definitely see clubs that you're interested in yourself directly. But if you meet anybody and they're like, "Hey, we're going to this meeting or something," it's you only live once.
Yeah.
See what it's about. So
Definitely. Well, that's such an awesome opportunity. I love how you're getting out there. You're kind of meeting everybody. And I love the advice that you're giving everybody else. That would be it. Thank you so much, Cole. This was an awesome, awesome, awesome time. As for me, I had such an awesome time, and you guys could too. So make sure that you come by the Transfer Jacks Lounge, and you can look for me, or you can look for anybody else in the lounge and talk about being a part of maybe the next episode. I think that'd be super cool. Thank you guys so much.